put us in this big old building because we allowed him to expand us. Even though it's not even filled yet, God is saying you still got more room to be developed. You still got more room to grow. You still got more room. Here it is, God is saying, when I'm getting ready to make a champion, I'm not going to give you everything all at one time. When you know how to fight for something that's valuable, you're not so easy to quit. You're not so easy to give up. It don't matter if nobody else come in to support you. Nobody says, I love you. Nobody comes in and says, listen, I see the best in you, and I see God is about to do a turnaround in you. You got to still know that there's a champion still somewhere inside of you. Here it is, number 4. The word develop means advance or mature. You notice that it says that when Moses had reached full 40, he didn't say half 40. He said full 40. He put it upon his heart to go visit. Here it is. God can't send us to some places because we ain't been filled up yet. Because if you hadn't been filled up with his word, then what word do you have to go to your brothers to uplift and to encourage them? Come on now, what word? It says when he was full 40, God put it on his heart to go visit his people. It's some family members that we don't like to deal with, but we're going to have to let God, come on now, fill up our hearts. We're going to have to let God completely mature us. Some of us ain't naturally mature and spiritually mature to go out and be a champion yet. That doesn't mean that you're not a champion. It just means that it's not your time to be a champion. And sometimes we got to know when it's time to be a champion. And sometimes we got to know when it's time to sit back. Because when you look at the boxing world, once a championship match happens, it's almost 6 months to another year before another one happens. Why? Because a champion doesn't go around fighting every battle. A champion makes sure that his reputation is kept by fighting people who claim to be the best. The devil got legions of demons and spirits out there that claiming to be the best. And God has said, I can't send you out there if you're underdeveloped. Because the enemy has champions too. All right? Here it is. Champion number 1 meaning means fighter or warrior. Fighter or warrior. You can't be called a champion if you don't have the ability to fight. If you don't have the ability to worship, you don't have the ability to pray, you don't have the ability to labor, you can't be called a champion. Why? Because it takes all of that for a champion. It takes all of that for a champion. Number 2 meaning of champion, it means anything that takes first place in a competition. Anything that takes first place in a competition. Number 3 meaning of champion means a person who fights or defends a person or cause. God will never raise up a champion without a cause. Now that leads to my next person I want to mention. Go to Samuel, the 1st chapter, verse 17. I want us to understand that when God is preparing a champion, that there is a process that we must endure. There is things that we must go through before we are called in public champion. There's nothing wrong with calling yourself in private champion. But if God haven't presented you to the public as a champion, he has not validated you, we have a problem. Here it is, 1 Samuel 17, verse 34. When you have it, say amen. Amen. And it reads and it says, and David said unto Saul, thou servant hast kept thy father's sheep. And there came a lion. I'll tell somebody development. there came a lion and a bear and took a lamb out of the flock. Tell somebody, development. Development of a champion starts with training. And it says that, verse 35, and he says, and I went out after him. And he says, and smote him and delivered it out of the mouth. And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard and smote him and slew him. Verse 36, and I'm going to stop at 36. It says, thou servant slew both the lion and the bear, and this uncircumcised Philistine, thou shalt be one of them, seeing he has defiled the army of the living God. God will not raise up a champion without a cause. There has to be a cause for God to raise up his champions. Here it is, when God is ready to raise up his champions, we come with resumes. This is why David began to tell Saul, listen, when the lion came, I went after the lion. When the bear came, I went after the bear. Here it is. David is saying, listen, I have had training being developed in leading